Hi guys, in this video we're gonna go through something much more practical, less theoretical, that has to do with the setup, safety measures when you do TMS with a patient. And I'm gonna start from the very simple. I have a laundry list of things I wanna share in front of you, so I'm just gonna look at them so that I don't forget anything. First question, troubleshooting, common technical issues. What if the TMS machine doesn't turn on? What do you do? And you are going to hear me repeating the same over and over and over. Call immediately your supervisor. That's going to be the answer to most of the things that I'm about to tell you. So the TMS machine doesn't turn on. You can check the cables, of course, the usual, as you can imagine, and then immediately call the supervisor and they will figure it out. Cindy, Dr. Moreno, anybody else. The patient just sat down on the TMS chair and the TMS software, this is especially for McVenture with the navigation system, but could happen with BrainsWay, is frozen. What do? The same, try to check whether there's anything strange, restart the computer maybe, but the bottom line is don't panic, call immediately your supervisor. The TMS machine stops working during the session. This is also super rare, but it may happen. What do you tell the patient? So first of all, we tell the patients that they haven't lost whatever they already did. If they did 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we just reassure them that nothing is lost. But also, if for any reason after pausing basically the TMS session, things don't get restarted, we always offer the patient the next day or later a brand new session. It doesn't hurt anyway. So reassuring the patient that we are working on it. Call your supervisor if you cannot figure out why the machine stopped working, and just reassure the patient that it's super rare, but we are going to offer them a brand new complete session if within a few minutes you cannot figure out what happened, that the machine stopped. The patient moves their head during the TMS sessions. This is especially with the McVenture with the navigation system. So the navigation system is going to tell you that the patient moved off target, and you simply pause the machine, recalibrate, refine the correct location, and then you continue with the session by reassuring the patient that it can happen that he hasn't lost, or she, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes just by pausing. You can continue after you reposition the machine where it's supposed to be. Precision, as you know, is everything and makes a whole world of difference. The reference head on the McVenture is not visible by the camera, even if the tracking system is in place. What do? You simply try to move the hair of the patient. Sometimes it's the hair on top of the 3 dots, and you have the patient turning their head so that the navigation system, the cameras can actually see the head. That is usually, or you simply polish with a piece of paper the 3 spheres, the silver spheres that are on the forehead of the patient. And if it doesn't work, always go to default mode, call your supervisor, and we'll figure it out. The coil now doesn't deliver stimuli. Never happened that, but you never know. So there's no signal coming out of the coil. What do? You check that the connector in the big amplifier that you see on the McVenture is plugged in, or the BrainsWay. If nothing happens, if the coil is dead, call your supervisor immediately. Safety protocols, very, very important. The patient experiences jaw trembling like this during the session. What do? So first of all, jaw trembling can happen. It's fairly common, especially with the left dorsolateral protocol, because we stimulate also the facial nerve a little bit and the temporal muscles here. It's electricity stimulating also the facial nerve. So it's possible, that some patients experience that. We usually suggest the patients, unless it's very prominent, to simply close their mouth, and then, after a few minutes, the session is done and everything is okay. If you notice that this trembling is very prominent and it's kind of strange, pause, call the supervisor, and wait until they show up. If the patient is experiencing nausea, malaise, something strange, dizziness, vertigo, any unusual symptoms right before or during the TMS session, stop or don't start. Call your supervisor, double check if it's a good idea to start or if it's a good idea to just take a break, but let them decide. Okay, so anything strange, the patient shows up and they're not well, they're not feeling well, and they tell you, just wait and ask your supervisor if you want to go ahead with the TMS session or not. Very important. If patients have tattooed eyebrows, is that a contraindication for TMS? The answer is no. Tattooed eyebrows don't care about TMS. The stimulation, even if there is some metal in the pigments, in the color, that doesn't affect the patient, and TMS can be done. If a patient loses conscience or has a seizure, what do? Call 911 immediately, or any major symptoms, call 911, follow your gut and your judgment, and then of course call your supervisor immediately. What do if the patient's situation or medications or conditions change between they sign off to do TMS and TMS testing, meaning that the patient shows up one morning and said, "Hi, my beloved TMS technician, I just want to let you know that I changed all my medications, but I didn't tell the medical director or my supervising physician." So they put you, right, as if they're asking you, is that okay? Don't take responsibility, call your supervisor, right? Something changed between sessions, medications, diagnosis, something, and they tell you and they ask your opinion. You say, "Thank you for sharing. I'm going to double check with my supervisor or the medical director or both." Don't take any chances or responsibilities. A patient has and tells you that they've just abused alcohol, cocaine, any drug, and they show up for the TMS session. They say, "Hey, I just drank a bottle of vodka or something, or I just snorted cocaine." What do? You don't do TMS. Why is that? Because these substances can change the excitability of the patient's brain, meaning that you don't want to take any chances of triggering a seizure. So when the patients disclose that, or if you notice that the patient, like they smell like alcohol or they look very strange, agitated, you notice something that you consider suspicious, please tell immediately your supervisor and wait before you start TMS. Okay, double check with them, let them make the decision before you start TMS. What is the minimum distance considered to be safe for people from a pacemaker, from a metal plate to do TMS? Back in the days, it was 25 centimeters, which is 10 inches. Now they reduced it to 20, then more recently in Europe, 15 centimeters, like 6 inches. The bottom line is the medical director will have made that decision for you anyway, whether or not a patient with a pacemaker or with metal plates in their neck can do TMS or not. They double check, like Dr. Moreno, for the material, titanium versus stainless steel, and so on. But usually more than 20 centimeters, about 8 inches, is the safe distance, sometimes a little bit less. Why are earplugs offered to patients? Because some patients are bothered by the sound of TMS, especially the brain-sway machine that we have in Chicago and Boca. So we offer earplugs if patients want to just stay quiet. And what are the absolute contraindications for TMS? This is again up to the medical director or the psych PA to evaluate that, but usually patients that have epilepsy or had seizures, patients with metal plates in their heads, because those metal plates could actually heat up and cause pain to the patient. Patients with a brain aneurysm, so vascular malformations inside their brain, could be dangerous. and patients that are intoxicated, again, with alcohol, with cocaine, with any substance, because intoxication, acute intoxication, could potentially trigger a seizure if we do certain TMS protocols. So these are the absolute contraindications. Actually, women during pregnancy can do TMS if the medical director decides so. There are studies since 10 years ago that TMS is safe during pregnancy, actually much better than medications. But acute intoxication, metal plates in the head or neck too close to the TMS stimulator, brain aneurysm, metal devices like brain stimulation, anti-pain, brain stimulators and so on, everything that is metal too close to the TMS stimulator, no, but that decision has been made already, usually by the medical director or the physician in charge. And I think that we are done with this video. So if you have any questions, if you want to dig deeper into any of these things, like for all the other videos, just ask me and we will talk more in depth. And I can send you articles as well. Thank you.
Nice. Great information there.
Right?
Yeah, that was a lot of like, I mean, it's obviously things that like they're gonna, once they see the video, it's gonna answer like a lot of the questions they might have.
Was I clear, Daniel?
Oh yeah.
Simple, straight to the point.
Yeah.
What else can we do? I have exhausted. I was re-looking at the TMS master. I've exhausted all the topics. Anything else
I feel like you've covered everything.
And then we'll think about it on Monday.
But I wanted to, you know how we went to, I asked him like, oh, like, if people ask me like, what's TMS? Because, you know, since I just started, I'm not sure like how to explain it. So remember you're like, oh, let's do a video for me? Like, explain
yes.
what TMS.
Oh, sorry, Danny. Yes, and we have 5 minutes.
Alright, perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, wait. It kept on going.
What do you mean?
Look. Yeah, it kept on going, so you have to chop.
It's not working.